everyone, welcome to Camp Elevate. My name is Darby and I am our camp director for the summer. This summer, we've been exploring the different fruits of the Spirit. These are the good things that God creates in us when we spend time with Him. We've finished our final fruit, but our time together at camp isn't quite over yet. For our final weeks, we'll look at the verse in the Bible that follows the fruits of the Spirit to learn more about what good things God can create in us. This verse is from the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verses 25 and 26. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become proud. Let us not make each other angry. Let us not want what belongs to others. Today we'll be focusing on the part of the verse that says, let us not become proud. Being proud or having pride means that we think we're better than someone else. We think we are the most important, and what we want means more than what others want. But the Bible tells us to be the opposite of proud. It tells us to be humble. Being humble is thinking of someone else before you think of yourself. It's doing something kind for others before you do something kind for yourself. It's seeing someone else's need and helping them instead of ignoring them. In our Bible story today, we'll look at the best example we have for what it looks like to be humble: Jesus. Before we jump into learning more about what it means to be humble, let's answer our question of the day. Shout out what color you think our question ball is going to land in. What is one nice thing you have done for someone else? That's a nice question, isn't it? Anyway, my mind immediately goes to the airport. If you've ever flown in a plane, you probably had someone take you to the airport. One time I woke up at 4 a.m. to take my friends to the airport. That's much earlier than I like to get up, but I was glad to be able to help my friends. What about you? What nice things have you done for others? In our Bible story today, we'll hear about how Jesus humbled himself so that he could help us. Let's check it out now. Philippians 2 tells us Jesus was equal with God, but Jesus didn't take advantage of that fact. God created our whole world. He is the most powerful being ever. But to show us what he's like, he decided to be born as Jesus, as a helpless, humble baby. He lived life and grew up like every person does. Philippians says, instead, he made himself nothing. He did this by taking on the nature of a servant. He was made just like human beings. Jesus didn't live as a wealthy king or powerful soldier. Instead, he lived as a normal, average person. He served people, even people who were supposed to be his enemies. Jesus was still God. He still had God's power, but he didn't use it to rule over people. Instead, he used it to heal, to help, to raise people up. That's what humility looks like. Jesus was God on earth. He had all the power of God, and yet he chose to put others before himself. He could have demanded that people treat him like a king and forced them to do whatever he wanted. But instead, Jesus cared for people who were sick, unwanted, and needed help. He thought about others before himself. That brings us to our big idea for today. I can live humbly. Living humbly doesn't mean thinking bad things about yourself and good things about others. It's looking to what someone else needs before you think about what you need. For example, let's say your grown-ups asked you and your sibling to help clean up after dinner, and your sibling only picked up one fork and then left. You could complain and tell on your sibling, or you could continue doing what was asked of you humbly without worrying about getting them in trouble. Let's think about one more scenario. Maybe you're the best speller at your school, but you have a friend who isn't very skilled at spelling. Instead of bragging and being prideful, you could be humble and help your friend learn more. There are a lot of ways we can show humility to the people around us. And when we do, we are acting more like Jesus. Let's finish our time together by talking to him. Jesus, thank you for giving us such a good example of what it looks like to be humble. Help us humble ourselves and think of others before we think of us. We love you. Amen. Thanks for spending the day with me. I'll see you guys next time.